A to the K.
To the K.
To the K. Hello, one and all. Welcome to the 8K Wrestling Show, and welcome to our Backlash winner predictions.
Indeed, Carl. Backlash right around the corner.
It is.
I think.
Puerto Rico is calling. This Saturday.
Calling.
This Saturday. So we're mere days away. And it's an interesting card. It's shaping up to be.
It is indeed. It is indeed. I mean,
seven wonderful matches to talk about.
There's 7 matches.
There's 7
like,
matches.
There's a little bit of dead weight in there, I'll be honest.
Damn. Okay, let's talk about this dead weight, shall we? Let me kick off with the first one.
Well, look,
do you mean specifically Omos? Or?
Yeah, like, let's be honest. Seth could be doing so much more. I'm not over on Omos.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not over on the whole Omos thing. It's like, he's really tall. He has no skill at all. And like, Seth's gonna have to carry the whole thing and try and make him look good. When
by all accounts,
what are they gonna do with it?
He's a really nice guy. So
okay,
you know, there is that aspect. But no, I get your point. Obviously,
Omos, he didn't get where he got being a nice guy. He got where he got because he's really tall. And Vince went, "I want a really tall guy."
So you're blaming Vince? There's Triple H not booked
I'm
this
just
match.
used to saying
What's
it.
happening?
I'm just used to saying Vince.
What's happening?
It probably was Trips. I don't know. But all I'm saying is, like, I don't know. I think I have this. It's not Omos's fault because if I was in Omos's shoes, they wouldn't fit. But if I was in Omos's shoes, I would do the same thing.
You'd have a lot of room, I'd imagine.
Yeah. But I would probably do the same thing. And they go, "Here's all the opportunity," and I'd be like, "Well, fucking yeah, why not?" Right? But it's the same problem I've got with the whole Dom situation. Is like, okay, so there's loads of people who have to earn their crust in NXT. They have to prove that they've got talent to get to the main roster, to then maybe flounder or thrive. And then you get people like Omos and Dom and so on like that. So it's either through nepotism or just sheer height that you go, we'll skip all that shit and just like put you on the main card doing big things on pay-per-views. Unnecessary. This guy's for Brock Lesnar and is now fighting Seth. And the whole aim is, well, let's make him look good. But what do you do with that when he still can't wrestle or talk?
Yeah.
I don't like it, man.
I mean, the guy's looked out. He's had a pretty, good run of matches at the minute, hasn't he? But yeah, I feel bad for
not
Seth.
Good matches. He's just had good opponents.
Yeah, to be fair. But I do feel bad for Seth. He's kind of gone up against Logan Paul. Now he's gone up against Omos. And this is a guy who should really be in and around the title scene. So you'll have to assume once Backlash is over and done with, that's where his focus will be on the new World Heavyweight Championship. Assuming he wins here. Now, a lot of people do seem to think Omos is due a win. Personally, I don't. Not at all. Not against Seth freaking Rollins, damn it. It's a match that's just been plucked out of thin air.
He's a really tall dude. You see, this is the problem. You can't even do the Braun Strowman thing and give him, like, people no one's ever heard of to squash week in, week out to look dominant because he can't fucking wrestle. He needs someone who's actually talented to carry him.
I don't know. Like, there's always been room for me in the wrestling business for characters like this. It's more of an attraction that you go to. And Great Carly.
Carly had injury issues, but he could wrestle better than Omos.
I don't think he could really.
He could.
At least when we saw him in WWE. Before WWE, maybe. But when we saw him, he was a karate chop and a headbutt and a chokeslam.
That's 2 more moves than Omos has got.
Come on. Maybe no. Harsh. But
I am not being harsh. I remember the Andre the Giant days when they were actually talented as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, Andre the Giant was fucking ledge. But, yeah, I get your point. But there's room there just from an attraction standpoint. But, yeah, it would be great if he, improved a bit more in the ring. But, look, Seth Rollins, I can't see anything other than a victory here for him to set him up nicely for the title tournament, personally. So I'm going to go Seth Rollins on this one. What are your thoughts?
It's got to be Seth. If it's not Seth, I'm quitting.
Okay. Join us here next week when it's just the K wrestling show. Yeah. So we'll mosey on over, shall we, to the first women's title match to talk about, and we've got Rhea Ripley defending against Zelina Vega.
Okay, so I'm actually all for this match. Now, I think the winner is obvious, but I think this gives a really good opportunity for Zelina.
Yeah. Do you know what I feel? It's quite a shame for Zelina because she won the Queen of the Ring. And then she did the Queen gimmick for a bit and then disappeared again for a bit. Now she's come back and kind of not done much, but now obviously she joined the LWO and she's got a title opportunity against Rhea. So hopefully, we can't forget that during the pandemic era, Zelina Vega was the highlight of WWE for many a week.
Yeah.
She'd always be out there, always be stealing the show, great on the mic, setting
absolute
stuff up.
great mouthpiece.
So yeah, I think
like she carried that team then. I don't know if they've let her do much talking with Legado del Fantasma or the LWO is there now, but she was a fantastic talker.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what? To be fair, it's a different match. I think the only shame is that it's pretty much a foregone conclusion, isn't it? You know,
Shame Miz sounds like some sort of show the Miz would do.
Shame is. But Rhea's only just won the belt. She's not going to lose it on her first proper defense to Zelina Vega.
Okay, I do have a thought here. I might be changing my prediction. It's Rhea and Zelina, so I'm thinking Zelina might take the win on a DQ because of shenanigans with Judgment Day and LWO. So it's a win in the books, but not for the belt.
Interesting. You're going to lock that in? Is that going to be your
I've
decision?
decided that.
Zelina by
I think
DQ?
it's going to be ultimately the match thrown out because of shenanigans. We're going to get Judgment Day and LWO involvement here. Seems
I think
like a thing.
We definitely will get to see the LWO. I think the Puerto Rican fans will be, super hyped to see.
I think this
Ray
is the
and
logical
stuff as
point
well.
to do it because there's the other option later on in the night with Damian and Bad Bunny, but this makes more sense.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to go to a DQ. I do think there'll be shenanigans, but I think Rhea will still end up getting the win. I don't think she'll need the distraction as such, but I feel like we might get a near fall from Zelina as a result of the distraction. So people are like, oh my God, Zelina's going to win it, and just doesn't manage to.
And this is where I do honestly, assuming they give it a decent amount of time, I think this would be great for Zelina because I think it's foregone that she's not legitimately a threat to take the belt. But at the same time, this is a great way of displaying what she can do.
Indeed.
So
yeah, I'm going Rhea. You're going Zelina.
I'll go Zelina.
Okay. We'll then move over to the US title scene. Now, this got very complicated by the draft.
Yes, it did.
Because we know now that Gunther has been drafted over to Raw and taking the IC title with him. And I know definitely Bobby.
Austin is now on SmackDown as well.
Okay, Bobby and Austin are on SmackDown, but Bronson stays on Raw, I think.
I've not heard Bronson move, so...
could be wrong. But the whole thing is now being interesting because what you do... So if Bronson has stayed on Raw... Then
it just makes the result kind of obvious that it's not going to be him.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, and it also is given more intrigue because when Bobby was drafted to SmackDown, me personally was like, I could actually see Bobby winning this and taking the belt over there while Austin stays on Raw. But now it's kind of thrown up in the air a little bit for me. I'm not massively hyped for this match either, though.
No, I think I don't think there's really been much to understand why this has happened. No, to be honest, I know sometimes matches are just there. You know what I mean? But it's like there's no real build to this. It's just Austin versus two people. Like you could literally interchange any of the opponents in this. Yeah,
and we've seen Bobby in Theory quite a few times now as well.
Yeah,
the fact that Austin had Bronson as his his muscle for a short term until Bronson was like, no, I want the belt as well, and kind of turned on him. That adds a bit of intrigue, but I think a lot of this match we'll see Austin Theory on the outside and just recovering while these two big meaty bastards slap meat.
And that's probably what they're going to do to push Austin as a heel, though, is that the work's going to be done by these two, so you can see them two go up against each other, and then he'll sneak in and get the fucking win at some point. Yeah,
which, to be fair, I want Austin to retain.
Yeah.
But I think we were guest appearing on Cheap Pop Wrestling. I don't know when their show's coming out, but soon.
This week sometime.
And to be fair, I basically said it was going to be either Bronson or Bobby to take the win here. So I will stick with what I said. It's a win-win for me as long as Austin does get the win. But I think Bobby might win this one and have a new lease of life as the US title, US champ on SmackDown.
Interesting. I'm going to stick with Austin. I don't think he's done yet.
Okay.
But I take your point. I wouldn't be upset if that happened.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
All right then.
We will then move on to not trios, 3-on-3. Trios tag match. So we've got the whole of the Bloodline taking on the tag team champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Matt Riddle for some reason.
Yeah, because why not?
Yeah, this to me kind of screams, well, we've got nothing for Solo to do. And we know the Usos are locked in a feud with Sami and Kevin Owens, so who else can we stick in as a third person on their side?
What if it's one that doesn't make any sense?
Well, done. Exactly. So, yeah, I can't say I'm massively hyped for this one, in all honesty. I love Sami, love Kevin Owens, and, the Bloodline stuff's been awesome as well. And to be fair to Riddle, I don't mind the stuff he does. I'm just not really massively keen on it.
No, it's just a random pairing. Like, I don't know. Can you say pairing when it's three of them? What's the word?
So.
Sorry.
I don't know.
It's random, right?
It is random.
And I think that kind of takes some away from it for me. Like, they're definitely going to put on a good match. They always have, but I'm like, okay, so why do we have Matt here?
Yeah. That whole thing kind of doesn't make sense. But then you've also got a question. So, the Usos have faced Sami and Kevin Owens twice. Once at WrestleMania. They lost. They had a rematch on Raw. They lost. Was it Raw? Was it SmackDown? Recently, they had a rematch anyway. I think it was SmackDown. So that's 2 L's now for the Usos. So part of me thinks the Bloodline needs a win here.
I don't. I think this is going to be the point. This is going to be they lose again. They can't deal with the Sami problem or whatever. And this is them leaving the Bloodline. This is the start of the implosion.
I saw it. I don't know whose theory it was, but somebody came up with the idea that if they lose this, does Roman negotiate a trade to trade the Usos over to Raw as a punishment? Which I think
would be an interesting one. I like that. Yeah, he's got the influence.
Yeah, but there's still a lot to go on with this Bloodline feud. But for me, I think maybe the Usos are about to lose again, and Solo manages to rescue it and gets the win. But then he's identified them as the weak links or something.
But I mean, the hinting at like a conflicted Solo as well, aren't they? So it's like, is he going to turn on them and follow Roman, or is he going to follow his brothers? Like, we still don't actually know there either.
Yeah.
So it's still compelling stuff, and I'm intrigued. But I do think KO and Sami are going to retain.
I mean, I wouldn't count out Riddle having some kind of weird involvement in this as well. Like,
weird involvement, yes.
Well, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have kind of been just dismissing him a lot on TV. Kind of just being like, oh, fucking hell, why are we stuck with this guy? Maybe he's going to be like, well, I'm not stupid. I know what he's doing and what he's saying. Like, and, do something to turn on them in this as well. Maybe a heel Riddle could be a nice change to his character. But I don't know. I think Bloodline are long overdue a win. They're still the Bloodline at the end of the day. They went undefeated for ages. To have them capitulate so much to lose all the time. Don't want to sound apropos. But yeah. And I'm wearing a Kevin Owens t-shirt. And I'm still saying that you're going to lose, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm going to go Usos.
I'm sticking with KOs and Sammys.
And Riddles.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll move on to the next one, and it's the other women's championship on the line. We have Bianca Belair defending against Iyo Sky.
I'm less enthused by this. This doesn't have the same luster that the other women's match has, in that I don't really think this will do much.
So I know you can be overwhelmed. I know you can be underwhelmed, but
it has the same problem as the Rhea match, in the sense of, like, we know that Bianca's the obvious lock to win here.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be an absolute shock if Iyo did, all due respect to Iyo. And it has the potential to help elevate Iyo. I just don't think it'll have the same impact as the other women's match. And people will naturally compare the two.
Yeah. You do have the added extra of the whole damage control scenario here as well.
Yes, that's a fair
point. So if
point.
you think about it, Iyo got the opportunity because Bayley let her have the opportunity in the first place. Because it was always Bayley getting the opportunities and they were complaining. So you
think this could be a compelling sort of twist to the damage control thing?
I think so.
Even if the match itself isn't particularly...
Yeah, maybe Bayley inadvertently costs Iyo, by trying to help her and something goes wrong. Bianca gets the win and then damage control have had enough and just kick Bayley out the group. Something like that. But I think, what would that mean though? Because that would mean damage control would be the heels, I guess.
I mean, isn't speaking of damage control, isn't the damage here that, like, Bianca's potentially, if you go with something like that, Bianca's potentially playing a bit part in her own title match?
Well, yeah, to be fair. I think, unfortunately, she's not been that compelling in a long time. And it's a shame because she's got all the talent in the world, but I don't know, I just don't care about any feud that she's in.
No.
Which sounds awful, but it's true.
It's kind of got to that point, sadly.
She's like on that...
we need a bit of a character transition for her.
Yeah, she's on like that John Cena point now, isn't she, where it's just forced down people's throats to the point, or even like early Roman Reigns. It's like, we get it.
Mm-hmm.
So, a heel turn could do the world of good, but I can't see that coming anytime soon.
No, sadly not.
She will still be the cheesy EST.
Nice.
In WWE. But yeah, I'm going to go Bianca Belair. I can't see Iyo winning this at all.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Okay, which will take us to, we'll say co-main event, but I predicted this is going to headline.
Yeah, I think you hear rumours that they're pushing for it too as well. So
well, there you go. It's in Puerto Rico. Bad Bunny is going to be the biggest star for the Puerto Rican fans, probably on the whole card. Let's be honest. So, at the same time though, it was all built around Cody and Brock, but now you do see the promotional stuff kind of gearing more towards this actually. So you never know.
Yeah.
But either way, it's going to be a San Juan street fight. So interesting because obviously to your point, you're not massively sold on Bad Bunny in the ring. True. But I wonder whether a street fight could be a happy medium of him.
Honestly, this is probably the best decision for like people like me who aren't utterly convinced that he's a great wrestler. I know some people think because it's almost given a pass, isn't it? Going, he's great for a non-wrestler. It's like yeah, but he's still not a wrestler. But the street fight element I think will hopefully add a lot to that, because then you can have a bit of fun with it without having to like notice the slight inability in the ring. You know what I mean?
I do think there's definite shenanigans going to be in play at this though as well, because a street fight would be no DQ. We're going to see Dominic all over this. We'll probably see Ray coming out to.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. And you know what? If it doesn't, there's one of the few times where if it doesn't, I'll be a bit annoyed, because it just makes sense, doesn't it? The whole Judgment Day connection. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Ray's had interaction with Bad Bunny in the past as well, so it kind of makes sense that he would come to his defense. Yeah,
I could see.
It just kind of works.
And I hope I'm not being terribly offensive if I'm off base on this as well, but I could see Bad Bunny being part of the LWO at the end of this. Like, they give him a t-shirt with like a Puerto Rico flag on it and stuff.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if he could rock up into the match straight away with a shirt on, just to get under Damian's skin, for instance. Like, there's so many.
It's one of the hottest selling merch at the minute, isn't it? The LWO stuff. Nice. So get it, Bad Bunny. He's had some of the hottest selling merch, hasn't he? The last time he had some. So maybe they'll do some kind of things there. But yeah, I think the Puerto Rican fans.
I was going to say you could do like BWO, I think, like for Bunny, but then I'm like, wait, we had one of those.
We did. So he just comes out full blue meanie. But yeah, I think the fans will lose the shit if Bad Bunny loses this one.
I feel like Damian
riots.
Damian should win it, and Damian should get a pop.
He should win it because he's the actual wrestler. But when's that ever?
I do take your point.
Yeah, I can't see it being anyone other than Bad Bunny, and that's why I think it could be the main event to send the fans home super happy. Yeah. Like, they've got to see the biggest thing to come out of Puerto Rico in Bad Bunny, and then they've got to see him win the match and send them all home happy. So I'm going to go Bad Bunny taking the win on this one.
I can't disagree with you, to be honest. I'd want to, but I can't.
Okay. Which takes us on to what probably should be the main event, but may not be, is Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Who thought we'd see this match happen? Do you know, like when Cody came back and it was very much like, he's going to feud with Seth and then he's going to go for Roman. I don't know why, I just never put two and two together to say, I wonder if he'll face Brock one day. And it's just kind of surreal. More surreal than it was him and Roman.
What is the deal with that image of Cody, though? It looks really weird.
All right. It's just his face.
What's the deal with Cody's face? It looks really weird.
Yeah.
Nah, there's something janky going on with the lighting or the Photoshop or something. That looks really weird.
Just his face.
Nah,
but,
that's weird.
Brock turned... I mean, firstly, like, this whole Cody thing, I don't know how you feel about it. I think it's massively dropped off.
Yeah.
Since the whole thing with Roman, since the loss at Mania, he's not only lost and not finished the story, but he came out the next night on Raw, formed an alliance with Brock Lesnar, who you should never trust, and got his ass beat.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I think, unfortunately, that's made him look stupid.
Yeah.
Like, which you don't want from your champion. I think the fact that he's drafted to Raw is making people think, like, they're not even going to ultimately build to him versus Roman in the future. So he's just going to get the secondary prize, which, again, I've mentioned it before, and I mentioned it again, was the title his dad never wanted.
Yeah. Could you imagine after all that, he just doesn't finish the story? He comes back again.
And I honestly think, I said this at the time, like, people are going to have to be in for the long haul because it's a Mania moment, and now we've skipped this Mania, so we have to wait till Mania 40 to get that moment again, assuming that that's what they're going to build to. And it's just like, that's a long fucking time of saying that same story, isn't it? Like, Dusty's my dad, and I'm going to finish the story. It's like, that you have to drag that out. They really drag that out to get to another Mania.
Yeah. What if we end up getting Cody Rhodes winning the Money in the Bank and challenging Roman at SummerSlam? So it's not dragged out to the point. Maybe he beats Brock, and then in the tournament to crown the new World Heavyweight Champion, Brock ruins it for him. And so that keeps going for a little bit. He's out of the title picture.
That's what we need. We need like a lot of like distraction with other stuff. You know?
Yeah. So maybe they go down that route, and then Cody says, "Do you know what? I'm not even that bothered about the other title because I want these titles. I'm entering the Money in the Bank, and I want to cash in."
Now, the thing is with Cody, right? The Money in the Bank, right? That could be a great moment where he cashes in and wins, but it's Cody, so you know he's going to cash in like.
He'll announce it. He'll announce it ahead of time.
Yeah,
he'll be. I've won it the next night on Raw. He'll be like,
because I want to fight for my championship. Yeah. I don't want to capitalize.
I don't want to jump you. I don't want to get you by surprise. You know.
Yeah.
Don't want to sneeze all over you.
And you get shit like that with it. But he overproduces himself, sadly, Cody. And I'm a huge Cody fan, despite a lot of the negativity I spew. But he like with stuff like that, it will get like a bit. They need to just try and rein him in with the story element, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think if they do that, would be sound.
So where do you think this is going then? Like for me, I can't see anything other than a Cody win.
I agree. Like I know we've had some discussions, and I'll save that for our mutuals and their show. But I don't know why I'm deciding not to name them. Is it a secret?
No, I think I've already said it.
I'll save it for what we talked about on Cheap Pop, because I think we talk about it there. And in particularly their theory on the whole redemption side for Cody. But for me, I feel like Cody should win this, and that's what I'll go with prediction wise. But there's some interesting theory behind that. But again, I'll save that for the show, the Cheap Pop.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that, you know, if Cody wins, that therein lies the question: what's next for the pair of them? But I think personally, that's the way it's going to go. He'll just be in the tournament for the world title. He'll get put out of it by Brock, and then it's keep messing around. I would personally,
I think it'd be a nice sort of almost thank you to Seth if Seth wins the tournament and wins the belt.
Yeah,
I think so. Given, you know, he's been paying his dues. He's been an absolute fucking team player day in day out. So let's give him the belt.
But what do you do a rematch, Cody and Brock at Night of Champions, but in some kind of like stipulation match or something?
Yeah, that would work for me.
Hell in a Cell, something like that.
Dog collar, whatever.
Well, he fucking loves a dog collar, doesn't he?
He does.
I bet he's got a fun home life.
Let's not delve into that.
Yeah. So yeah, Cody Rhodes all round here for the win. So that was Backlash. They were our winning predictions, and this Saturday it is fast approaching now. So
and can you predict better?
Yeah,
we'll head over to Instagram and do it.
Yeah, it's already probably finished by the time we've done this.
Well, you fucking missed that opportunity,
you missed it,
didn't
you?
So
make sure you get it for the next one. But every premium live event or pay-per-view, we have our prediction series where you get to predict the outcomes.
I know something's shrinking throughout the show.
Yes, it's just the weight of the world.
Do you know what I think? I've decided what's bugging me about that image.
Go on.
It's that you can't tell his hair's like blonde, and I feel it makes him look like an old woman.
It does look a bit like Pat Butcher.
Let's be honest. If it weren't for the fact that you could see the Cody jacket and you just saw the face, you'd think, like you say, Pat Butcher, like an old woman with like the short grey hair. That's kind of what it's reminding me of. I think that's what's bugging me about it.
Okay, and that's why we'll never get Cody Rhodes on the show, because of all the abuse. But
it's not abuse. It's just it's not him. It was whoever took the picture didn't do it.
I love you, Cody. It's fine. It's fine. At least one of us does. But yeah, so definitely take part in our prediction series, and make sure you check back next week to hear our reactions and review of Backlash, and we hope it's going to be a good, fun-filled event for all.
Yes, we do.
So until then, we will say bye.